Please, put pledge allegiance along again.
Pledge allegiance.
All right, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Handel.
Chairman Dale Massett.
Here.
Vice Chairman Terrence Rowe.
Here.
Member Jenny Sorrell.
Here.
Member William Dittmer.
Here.
Member Richard Bloom.
Here.
City Attorney James Matthew.
Here.
City Manager Vincent Lupo.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Announcements, would that be you?
Let's go right down to the council business.
Oh, well, first of all, okay, where do you want, we're here. Who's announced? Maybe Bill. Bill, did you want to make a slideshow for this?
May we now?
Please.
Well, it's actually under council maintenance, the maintenance grant program.
Okay, we'll
That's
do
this
that.
issue right there.
All right. Comments from the general public?
Sandra Spaldi, 8612 Green Street. I want to say with the CRA money through the years, in the beginning I was very upset with Mr. Lupo because he blighted our city. And he heard my mouth about that because I was very upset. However, he did the right thing. I was wrong, and our city has come a long way with the CRA money. I think we're doing a good job with it. And I'll leave you with that.
Thank you. Board comments? No? Oh, go ahead, Tom.
I'm on the list.
Oh, okay, we've lost it.
Thomas Brown, 7436 Candlelight Court. I think community redevelopment money should only be spent on community redevelopment. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to the board. Comments, thoughts?
The only thing that I've heard from citizens on this was, and I didn't notice if it was in there or not, regarding income levels. Some people are afraid that some of the lower income people may miss out, and there's people who have means grabbing up all the grant money. So I was wondering if there's a way we could put in there some kind of income structure.
I believe they.
No, that was the
Yeah.
that's one of the main reasons we wanted to bring back the program for council to discuss. There were some earlier discussions when we months and months ago when we started to put this program together as to if there should be or if there should not be income limits. So we are certainly willing and able to implement income limits. There are several different structures that we can use. We just needed to know council's desire with respect to income limitations. There were previous programs that were launched in this community that were gobbled up quickly.
Building up.
Yes, sir. This program is not designed for that. It is specifically designed as a left and right hand glove to the residential maintenance program. It is one of the ways to help individuals comply with the new residential requirements. So we're prepared to speak to the issue. We would like to get clarification from council with respect to their desire as to income limits.
Do we want to do that now? Or?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Well, we just reviewed the medium income. I think Ms. Sorrell had the numbers for the medium, $38,000. I mean, that's probably a good starting point. I mean, if that's the average median income for the city. I suspect we could go higher, but I don't know where you want to draw a line.
Well, and this is a question I don't understand. What we're going to look at their tax returns, and are we taking the adjusted return, or are we taking their salary before?
Reinventing income limits is not that difficult. There are community development block grant standards. There are all kinds of different standards with respect to how you determine what income limits are for our community. We use the most practical level monitoring process possible. It'll be at or below the $30-something thousand benchmark. We'll determine what that is for our community as best we can, and we'll develop the safeguards with respect to producing documentation with respect to their income, and we'll go from there.
Mr. Mayor, man.
Please.
I think that if you begin helping those individuals who are in most need, and by being in most need, essentially having the least amount of income, I don't know how much money is available, but that's easy to determine. I'm sure you have the answer. But if you help those in need first with the $1,000 and not requiring the contribution of $1,000, because frankly they may not have it and they probably won't, based on an income tax return, gross income, you can make it very simple, and that obviates all the deductions and everything else that goes out with it and adjustments and so forth. So if you find a structure, a figure, a dollar figure on an income tax return and say, these folks, if you earn $20,000, for instance, as an example, or less a year, based on your gross income, you qualify for phase one, $1,000. You don't have to put in any money, okay? And then if there's a phase two, if there's money's available, you can then go up with the gross income to, or you can have a range, 20 to 30,000, for instance, or 30 to 40,000, whatever that range is. And then those folks, as you start to get a little bit higher, they would maybe be in a better position to contribute $1,000 along with the $1,000. And as far as the anatomy is concerned, I think that's probably a pretty good structure, at least a beginning structure, something, a skeleton to work with, and it doesn't have to be certainly too complicated. Now, if I may, the CRA funds, they are used for to assist and help and improve the more impoverished areas of the city?
No, sir. In our particular instance, they can be used citywide. And there are community development block grant funds. There are other funds that are restricted to certain areas. But when we passed the community development redevelopment program many, many years ago, it was established city-wide. So what it allows is for the city to come up with approaches for community redevelopment. And that's what we did many years ago.
Let me ask it this way. Is there a program that's in this city that is strictly, the funds are strictly used for the blighted areas, for impoverished areas, to help those folks?
We don't have a program yet in this city specifically for that. They are exactly what you refer to. They are for specific areas. But CRA funds are for the entire city.
Okay.
And for the record, we were the last ones to be able to
Yes, sir.
do that. So,
Sure. We'd like to, if I may, we'll move forward with a quick presentation. the issue at hand is to help implement the residential maintenance standards. The city staff proposes a residential maintenance grant program that would help offset the cost of residents to make improvements to their homes. The program budget would be established at $50,000 in the CRA budget. The program would offer 50 $1,000 matching grants to owner-occupied residences throughout the city to assist homeowners in making exterior improvements to their homes. A sample brochure outlining details of the program are included for review and for discussion. And if we can look through them pretty quickly, and you can begin to see some of the areas that we're interested in addressing and what specifically the grant would allow. Following the document itself is an outline of the terms and conditions of a community redevelopment agency residential maintenance grant. The interesting thing that Councilman Bloom brought forward is that his interpretation, or he would like to possibly see this program as a straight grant and not a matching grant for specific lower income individuals. An income to be determined by the building department at below the median income. And it would be a straight $1,000 grant along these lines. That's what I understood Councilman Bloom's recommendation was. We certainly are your instruments, and we'll go in any direction that you choose. A straight grant for of $1,000 is extremely advantageous to a community well below the median income, to assist them where they do not have funds whatsoever. There are many houses, unfortunately, there are too many residents like that. So we are prepared to move in either direction. The program itself is pretty basic. It follows the outline of the minimum housing standards on what can and can't be done, which is commonly agreed by most individuals. Our issues really are, is it to be a matching grant, or is it to be a straight grant of $1,000 based on, of course, all of the requirements of building permits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But we could do it like Mr. Bloom was saying, that say 50% are non-matching grants, and the other 50 over the threshold would be matching grants.
We could most certainly do that.
Because this way, you don't want to exclude people who are right on that cusp either, you know. So I think if you give 50% of that to non-matching, the other 50% of the grants go to matching. We'll cover a lot more bases that way.
Easily done.
What kind of cap do we want to put on this for the matching?
Above the median income. Below
Any
for
number
the
above the
non-matching and above. would-
Median income.
Yeah.
Medium.
I would imagine that most that were below are probably renters.
But they don't get. it's not
No,
for
this is
renters.
residential
Can't
only.
get it.
That's right, they don't get it.
Residential only.
Owner occupied only.
Correct.
Okay, could we narrow it down to even doing only R1 and R2 and not R3 or PUDs?
I know.
I'm thinking,
What is it?
Residential one,
Residential
residential
one,
two,
residential
residential three.
What's the difference?
One would be
Three is
multiple,
multifamily.
multifamily.
Yeah,
So it certainly
single-family
could-
units.
That could be put into the ordinance, yes.
I would say you'd want to
We
apply this,
might-
I
we
would
want-
think single-family dwellings.
Yeah.
Yes,
That makes sense.
I agree.
Okay,
Good start.
with that.
R1 is
single-family?
single residential zoning.
That's correct. R2 is
R2 is
duplexes.
two-family
Mixed, right.
residential zoning. R3 is multiple
Multiple.
family, like an apartment building.
No, you're really interested in addressing
R1.
R1.
Yeah,
I
right.
think R1.
R1.
So we could limit it to R1.
R1.
I think that's if you get a two, even at R2, you're gonna have two families over. This one.
Yeah, but you're not gonna
agrees,
get
it
an
doesn't.
owner occupied in a double,
Correct.
a duplex.
Two-story.
Right.
But he may only about one side.
It's not duplex.
So
Okay.
you're saying
So are we saying
R1
R1
only?
or-
R1.
Yeah.
R1.
R1, everybody agrees?
Yes.
R1, 50/50, 50% of the grant with respect to minimum median income, and 50% of the grant, approximately 25,000 to those below the median income. And we can move forward,
And I have one thing to
sir.
add, to this grant program. Who's responsible for my payroll, my paycheck? Any of you ladies?
Yes, sir.
You can send it to that grant fund.
Will that help? Send mine too. I think it's been, yeah, you can do that. Okay, that gives them some more. Yes.
I don't really need a vote. All you need is a consensus that this is the direction you would like to go. We'll modify this, and when we come back, just for information purposes only, at your next presentation on the issue itself, on the standard housing program, we'll just give you a program, and if you have any objections, we'll make the alterations then. So we'll move forward with this program, unless I see any objections from council.
Okay,
No need a motion.
I got something to say. I don't know
Oh,
what it
sorry.
is now. I forgot. It'll come back around.
Okay.
Bring it back
Um,
next time.
Real quickly, if we, and I think Jim's already told me this is illegal, but if we had. Why should that stop you? I don't like illegals. I just had this thought that maybe the code enforcement people could identify lower income people that are gonna come up with under the housing standards and knock on their door and say, would you like to apply?
We can certainly do that, but not if it's illegal.
Is it illegal?
They can search out people that would meet the standards. So
Okay, well, I got past that legal deal.
I'm sure they probably already have several in mind.
Yeah, I mean, if nice people that can't do it, that's who we're looking for. Okay.
We're looking to implement this program as quickly as possible. The quicker we get this program going, the cleaner the community's going to look, and the happier the community's gonna be.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, everybody with it?
Go with it.
Any other thoughts? You got it, you're on.
What's the other?
I don't know.
Council, we have a presentation to present to you. We want to show it on the campground wall over here, so you may want to move around. It's an interesting video. We had taken some videos overhead. Sal Akari had mentioned on it and said, hey, you need to put this as a presentation. We thought that's a great idea, so if you don't mind allowing us to show it to you, we'd like to. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Alec. Oh, it's still running. Maybe we're going to. There we go. The colors on this are absolutely horrible. Again, the screen is not very good, so if we have this, if anyone would like a copy of it, certainly welcome to it. It was put together by Alex. He missed his calling. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. Who operated the drone?
Alex?
You got it?
You the
Really?
drone guy?
Yeah.
Are you a commercial drone pilot? Are you a commercial licensed drone pilot?
He is now.
Well, don't fly it by my house. I'm very good with Okay.
We intentionally did not fly by ground.
Okay, where are we in this?
Adjourn.
We are at adjourn. We got the.
We are ready.
Everything
Everything's done.
done?
This
I
motion-
am listening.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in
Thank you,
favor?
council.
Good night, all.
Good job.
Night, everybody.
Oh, hell, I gotta give her there.
Yeah, you got to sign your life away.